Decentralization, generally defined as the dispersing of functions or powers from a central authority to local authorities, local entities, or even to citizens, is basically the opposite of centralization when everything is managed by a centralized power. One major advantage of decentralization is that it increases participation and ownership from the citizens. So generally, when we talk about decentralization, many people think of governance, where you have a central government and then you have local entities who have been given some power in a decentralized system. But in this video, I'm going to talk about decentralization that has happened thanks to advancements in technology. So I'm going to look at two areas. First, I would look at the area of entertainment. Then I will secondly look at the area of finance. So how has advancements in technologies helped with decentralization in the entertainment industry? To be able to make the point, I'm going to use just music. Entertainment is broad, but let me use music only. You remember not so long ago, young and upcoming artists had to record their track on a cassette or on a CD, and then they would struggle to get in touch with a musical producer or a record label and hand over that cassette or hand over the CD in the hopes that a single individual with limited taste is going to listen to that track and make a judgment call as to whether or not this needs to be produced. So upcoming artists were hedging everything, betting on having one individual approve or acknowledge that their art was worth something. But what is happening today? Thanks to advancements in technology, basically the internet as a tool of distribution, and platforms like TikTok, like YouTube, individual artists from anywhere in the world can record a track and distribute it globally. And then they would not be dependent on a single individual. They would, hand it over to the mass market, and you hear about something going viral. And now that direction of influence or the traffic has changed. Rather than looking for music producers to be able to produce your album or produce your track, if you upload it online and it goes viral, music producers and record labels are the ones running after young artists who have produced something that has gone viral, looking to sign them under their record labels. So thanks to this advancement in technologies, the sphere of influence has shifted from the formerly centralized power to the decentralized units. And one other thing that young and upcoming artists were betting on was exposure. They depended on music producers to be able to distribute their cassettes or their CDs. You hear about an artist having sold 1 million albums because on their own they did not have that distribution network. They had to, depend on a record label. But nowadays, no longer the case. Record your track, put it up on YouTube. If you get 1 million views, you get 10 million views, you have them coming after you instead. People do not buy albums anymore. Thanks to streaming, you don't have to depend on production houses for your distribution. Secondly, let's look at the finance industry and see how advancements in technology has led to decentralization in finance. In finance, they have the code DeFi, which is basically decentralized finance. But given that the finance industry is as broad as well, like with entertainment that we talked about earlier, I would want to take just stock trading or trading in general and show how advancements in technology has led to decentralization, giving power to the average citizen. Think of this. Back in the day when you wanted to buy stock or you wanted to trade in stock, what did you do? You, as an individual, you did not have access to the trading systems. You had to reach out to a stockbroker. A stockbroker would then advise you on which stock to buy, it may be a portfolio, a mix of Dow Jones or the Nasdaq or or any other exchange. And you would be entirely dependent on the judgment of the stockbroker. What has happened now? Thanks to decentralized exchanges or DX, individuals with access to the internet with a smartphone or a computer are now able to get into these exchanges and build their own portfolios. Even for those who were trading in currencies, stable coins have made it possible to be able to trade currencies without actually having to get the traditional asset. Because stable coins are basically digital assets that have been pegged against the traditional currencies. For example, the USDT is basically the digital asset pegged to the US dollar. So if you wanted to trade currencies like the US dollar, for example, you really do not need to have US dollars to go to a bank and reserve US dollars to use for trading, right? You can buy a digital asset, a stable coin, and you trade. And when you look at trading and look at the rise of cryptocurrencies, everybody everywhere with a smartphone is able to buy and sell cryptocurrencies on whichever exchange they choose. So are stockbrokers going out of influence? Are stockbrokers becoming redundant? Well, you say there are still people who rely on stockbrokers. But what I'm saying here is that thanks to advancements in technology, decentralization has been forced upon these industries. And the average individual is able to sit down, from the comfort of their home and be able to trade stocks in real time. So that was it for today. I just wanted to use examples of two industries and show how advancements in technologies have led or pushed and aided decentralization that has been advantageous to the average citizen. No longer do you need to go through an intermediary. You can now do it from the comfort of your home, all thanks to advancements in technologies. So there are many other industries out there that have been affected positively by advancements in technologies, pushing decentralization and giving power to the average citizen. Thank you very much. God bless.